Hi everyone, my name is Dusty, and we're still hanging out playing Sega. So today I'm going to be playing Altered Beast on Sega Genesis, one of my favorite games from high school. I love just beating up the zombies and turning them into chunks of meat. First stage is just really fun.
Power up.
Even at a very young age, I was into horror, so when I saw this and it had the fantasy elements and the horror elements together, it was just like everything I would want in a video game.
Power up.
So I wanted it really badly. I really wanted a Sega Master System at one time. Oh man, that's cool. That's still cool to this day.
Welcome to your doom.
I remember looking in the wish book and they had the Sega Master System for $20 and Altered Beast was on there, and I really wanted to try to get that. I thought that was a thing that I could ask for and actually get because at the time the Sega Genesis was quite expensive and I didn't see my parents getting me that, and they wouldn't get me a Master System either, even though it was $20. And I'm kind of glad they didn't, because since then I have played Altered Beast on Sega Master System, and it's really bad. So I would have been disappointed even though it was cheap. So these little intros are kind of funny to me. That one's like he's bringing her to the gun show. The villain in this game doesn't seem like he's got a plan. He's just in it to be menacing. Like he understands he's in a 1980s arcade game, late 80s arcade game.
Power up.
So I've always felt like this stage looks like it would be the last stage. Everything's very dark, and it's this, I don't know, maybe it's a swamp setting, I'm not sure, but part of it's definitely the fact that you turn into that. That is so cool. That looks like something you would have to bring to the final confrontation. Not something that you would have in the second stage.
Welcome to your doom.
So just waiting for the boss to appear here so I can make quick work of it here with my lightning attack. Seems strange that they went as far as to have a Western style dragon, and he's not a fire breathing dragon, he's a lightning dragon. And at this point, I feel like the Altered Beast has shown us the best it has to offer. He puts her up on the cross and he's just kind of casting a spell at her. Like, why am I here? What do you want? So these bugs in here I've always thought were funny. I'll let you figure out why.
Power up.
But other than that, this is just not a fun stage. You got your cave, though. I feel like there was an obligation to have caves in video games, so they meet that obligation here. But just everything else about the stage just pales in comparison to everything that's happened up to this point. So now I'm Smokey the Bear. I have this breath that turns things to poop,
Welcome to your doom.
which just makes me have to hit him one more time to get him out of the way. Then I've got this weird boss to fight here, like a snake in a snail shell. I just feel like they designed the boss first and then figured out what the bear would be able to do in combat afterwards. And neither of them are any good in my opinion. They're just weird. So I'm glad that's over. Bear looks like he's about to do Wing Chun, and then he just blows puffs of smoke. I don't really understand what's going on here. I think that Athena's being transformed into a bird. I think that's what that's supposed to represent. So this stage here, I really like the look of it. I love the purples, the different shades of purple. And the enemy variety here seems like it would be the enemy variety for a second stage, maybe a third stage. I can understand wanting to break up the monotony a little bit by having something a little bit different, like the dragon stage has the weird swamp enemies. You got the little blobs with the big toothy maw, kind of like a grittier slime from Dragon Warrior. But with the difficulty curve, I feel like this is easier than the stage that came before it, with the exception of the powers that the tiger has. So the tiger shoots a really slow, wavy fireball, as you can see here.
Welcome to your doom.
So he's just like a less effective werewolf transformation. And it's another situation where it's like they designed the boss first and then designed the abilities the transformation would have next. I will say that I think that the vertical kick makes a little more sense than having two horizontal attacks. But I really just wish it was more like Ryu's Dragon Punch. I guess if I'm going to die somewhere, this is a good place to die. I just feel like this boss fight is just awkward. I always have. I feel like I used to be better at it, but I really do believe that I always die here at least once. It's just another odd boss fight. It's just like a baby crocodile that floats and it's got a fire belly, and it's just weird. I don't like it. I can't help it. I don't like the way you fight it. I don't like the way it attacks. It's just everything about it just seems weird for weirdness sakes. Get one more scene here, and C's holding her as the bird now, so I assume that spell he was casting was to turn her into a bird. Like, but why? So this stage, I guess, is supposed to be the underworld. I like the little scream and the thinker Easter eggs there at the bottom. That's pretty cool. But as far as this stage goes, I feel like the only... Oh, come on. Down to 0 already. Please don't kill me. Okay. Starting to wonder there for a second. So I guess this is supposed to be the underworld, and with the exception of that foreground I was talking about earlier, it's a really... off-putting design. It just seems like a really odd final stage to me. I mean, the foreground makes it look like it would be a final stage, but the background's just, it reminds me of Space Madness on Ren and Stimpy. And that doesn't really put me in mind of the underworld. But we're back to being the werewolf. They call it the golden werewolf this time around. And I've heard people criticize this as, why couldn't they think of another transformation? But I mean, really, this is the best transformation in the game. So it makes perfect sense to me, always has, that you would bring back the best transformation. And I always feel like you're way more likely to not get all 3 orbs in the first part of the stage, so you get to go on this rampage. It's very satisfying. I never use that kick dash attack, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't look so much like a kick in the console version here, but in the arcade, it's clearly a flying karate kick, and you're just enveloped in flame. So, not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little embarrassed by how I will be trying to beat this guy here, but this is the only way I've ever done it. I don't know any other way to make it work, so I guess you might call this cheesing the boss, but at the same time, I don't see what else you can do. I mean, he's really just got one tactic that he's using, so it forces me to use the one tactic that counters it. He just rushes in, punches and kicks, so what choice do I have but to go around that motion? If I wanted to risk it a little bit, I could probably graze the top of his head with the kick attack there, but I don't even want to try. I've only got 2 hits here, sort of. I really don't understand the life bar, I'll be honest with you. But I do know I have no lives left, so I'm going to play it safe. I feel like 1/3 of my shots aren't even registering. Sometimes they pass right through. Sometimes they don't seem to even do damage. I can't really tell that I'm winning until he changes color. Any minute now, I'm hoping he changes color. There he is. He's turning red. He's getting mad. I don't blame him. The way I'm taking him out, it's got to be frustrating. But I mean, think about this as a final boss. Like, I don't know. I guess in a way, he's really just sort of like Ganon. But Ganon would have cast spells. He's just, I'm going to turn into this rhino thing and just kung fu fight you. It just seems like such a lame final boss to me. It always has. I've never understood this like as being the final boss. I've always felt like the first stage was the coolest the game had to offer. The dragon's cool and all, but that dragon stage is over really fast. As soon as you're the dragon, it's just over with. I feel like the dragon should have been the boss, or been the transformation here, and had some other kind of boss that you had to fight that was in the air. I mean, the villain's a sorcerer. It seems like he could be flying around and raining fire down on you or something. I don't know. But we beat him. Hey, baby. Wolfman's got nards. Well, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I played Altered Beast. This is one of my favorite games. I used to have it complete in box and got rid of it. I sold it. I needed some money. I've regretted that ever since. It was complete in box, and I thought it was a thing of beauty. So, anyway, I'll go ahead and just let this play on out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me.